Dykes and them do a great job of just overemphasizing to us, like, before practice, like, this is a work day. We need to do this, this, and this. And we can't take that. Like, last week, our bye week, there was no messing around. Like, we were working. So I think that's been important. Helped everyone keep their heads level.
It's been 293 days since the Horned Frogs stepped foot in the Carter. From one Wildcat win back on November 23rd of last year, the Frogs beat up Arizona 49-28, and now, finally, we are back in the Carter. And another Wildcat team stands across the field from the Horned Frogs. Your 1-0 TCU Horned Frogs take on the 1-1 Abilene Christian Wildcats. The last time these two teams met was back in 1930, and the Frogs put on a show, shutting out ACU 62-0. Tonight marks the third time the in-state rivals will match up against each other. There will be a ton of purple on hand tonight. The sold-out Carter will be electric, as it always is. It's Parents Weekend here in Fort Worth in just about an hour. The Frogs and the Wildcats next. Frogs have arrived. Welcome to your Frogs Today football pregame show presented by our brand new sponsor, Texit Coin. We are so excited to be back for another Horned Frog football season. We loved watching our boys spoil Bill Belichick's introduction to college football. As crazy as the atmosphere was in Chapel Hill, every phase of that game was on point for our Frogs as they opened the season up with the only correct way, a win. We are live from the Moncrief Club in the South End Zone here at the Amon G. Carter Stadium. I'm your host, Jules Conti, alongside Faith Lester. We are so glad to be back.
Thanks, Jules. And absolutely, the wait is finally over. Feels like the North Carolina game was forever ago.
Too long ago. Some teams have already played 3 games as we are in week 3 of college football. 4, if you count the week 0, with the Big 12 opener being in Dublin all the way across the pond.
Exactly. Iowa State took care of Kansas State in that one at the Aer Lingus College Football Classic. And not to look too far ahead, Jules, but next year we open the season again against the Tar Heels of North Carolina in that game.
All eyes were on the Horned Frogs as they stormed into Chapel Hill to open the season 2 weeks ago now in front of a sold-out crowd and a prime-time national audience on ESPN. TCU dominated Bill Belichick's Tar Heels 48-14. Sonny Dykes on his State of the Frogs coaches show talked about how the opener went.
Yeah, it was a good start to the season. I think the 3 things that we wanted to address, going into that game were try to get through fall camp as healthy as we could. And I thought we did that. And then the 2 things that we needed to do to help us win the game were win the turnover battle. We won 3-1, scored 2 defensive touchdowns. Obviously, when you can do that, that's a great way to start. And then we had to be more physical and run the ball and dominate the line of scrimmage. And I thought we ran the ball better. I thought we stopped the run better defensively. That's been a point of emphasis for us to shore up the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. I thought we did some good things in that regard, ran the ball better than we have in a while. So it was a good start and something we can build on.
Tonight, the Frogs look to do it all again, but this time at home in Fort Worth, taking on the Abilene Christian Wildcats in their 3rd meeting. The first one being in 1925 with the Frogs' 21-9 win. And then 5 years later in 1930, the Frogs won that one as well, 62-0.
It's Parents Weekend, Frog fans, so lots going on, and you will be able to hear all the action in the Carter tonight all over Fort Worth. The Frogs will don the white helmet, purple top, and white pants tonight. In this pregame show, just on the other side of a break, we'll talk with TCU's athletic director, Mike Buddie, and also take a deeper dive into TCU's offense and defense, as well as a scouting report on the Wildcats. Stay with us. We'll be back after a quick word from our sponsor, Texit Coin.
Texit Coin is a fast, Layer 1 digital currency designed for generations of honest trade. In many ways, Texit Coin is like Bitcoin. It uses blockchain technology, the decentralized public ledger, to record transactions. Texit Coin makes it easy for anyone to participate in the digital economy. Like Bitcoin, Texit Coin can be traded for other cryptocurrencies or cash. But unlike Bitcoin and other leading cryptos, Texit Coin can only be digitally mined in Texas. Unlike Bitcoin, Texit Coin is run by a leading team of alternative currency experts. people with decades of experience who don't hide in the shadows. And best of all, unlike Bitcoin, Texit Coin is leading the way on a globe-changing mission, the secession of Texas from the crumbling United States. Join us as we build the world's largest decentralized cryptocurrency mine. Put control of crypto back in the hands of individuals and away from mega corporations, banks, and foreign nations. With Texit Coin, we can leave the world a better place for our children and future generations. Don't worry, it's not too late. Launched in 2008, it took nearly a decade for Bitcoin to gain global recognition. And although many agree crypto is the future of money, worldwide adoption of cryptocurrency is still less than 1%. You may have missed your chance to get rich with Bitcoin, and maybe again with Ethereum, Litecoin, Doge, and thousands of others, but it's not too late to win big with Texit Coin. Get started now before it too becomes a global sensation.
Welcome back to your Frogs Today football pregame show live from the Moncrief Club. Thank you to our sponsor, Texit Coin. I am now joined by TCU's athletic director, Mike Buddie. Mike, we always talk to the players about their first experience in purple, running out into the Carter for the first time, but I'm eager to feel your feelings about the same thing, being in their shoes for the first time.
Well, probably a lot less nervous than they are, but certainly there's a lot of people in town, a lot of people I want to visit with. My first experience with purple last week in North Carolina was pretty hard to beat. But I'm expecting a big purple C today with both teams being purple, and just can't wait to get it going, to be honest with you.
And speaking about expecting a lot of people, it is family weekend for the students of TCU. Something that TCU really fosters as one of their main missions here is that family atmosphere, both within athletics and within just our university as a whole. Have you really felt that since being here?
Yeah, absolutely. And my wife and I were able to catch up with some old friends who have a daughter that goes here now. And Parents Weekend is special everywhere, but I think it's extra special at TCU because the experience seems to be elevated, and the level of happiness and contentment of our student body is reflected in how happy their parents are to be here.
So I want to go back to that UNC game, just because you mentioned it. It was your first time at a TCU football game. This isn't your first start to any TCU athletics, and you started before football season began last spring. However, how was that experience of being in the TCU football atmosphere, yet it was an away game, and TCU was able to blow them out the way they did? Yeah.
Well, I was confident that we were prepared. I was confident that we were going to win. If you would ask me, would we be up 41-7 in the third quarter? I probably would have had to, that would have been a bit of a stretch. But Coach Dykes and his guys they're just so prepared. They're so calm. They're so competent. I just love their approach, and I was excited. First time with a Power 4 program as the athletic director. We're bigger, we're stronger, we're faster than my previous stops, but you still have to execute. And I was just really just pleased with how they executed all facets of the game.
And Sonny and the guys seem like they are just focusing on just that going into today's matchup against ACU. So for our fans back home who are eager to hear, what are your thoughts or what are your predictions going into tonight's matchup? First home game in the Carter.
Well, I stay away from score predictions.
Of course.
But what I predict is we'll be sharp, we'll be crisp. I don't think we're going to be caught looking ahead to a big rivalry game next week. They're really focused on the here and now. Obviously, we hope that we get out of here healthy. And hopefully some of the guys that haven't had a whole lot of snaps will get a chance to kind of show off their talent levels and set themselves up for the future as well. So excited, again, to kick off.
It's always so special when we get to see as many players as we can get out there on the field and really live their dream, which is to play at the college level.
And where better to do it than Carter Stadium on a Saturday night?
And wearing purple, best color on earth.
Amen.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It means a lot. We're excited for your first game here in the Carter. Thank you to our new sponsor, Texit Coin, for being here with us as well. It is a 7 p.m. kick in the Carter. We'll be back after a few words from our sponsor. Go Frogs. Texit Coin makes it easy for anyone to participate in the digital economy. Texit Coin is the perfect rocket for your crypto journey. You'll connect with folks just like you, and together we will navigate the wild digital frontier, learning, growing, and exploring all that this new type of money has to offer. Think about mining crypto just like any other manufacturing process. We start with a raw material, electricity, work it through our production machines, ASICs, and the finished good are freshly minted Texit coins. Texit coins are traded locally with merchants and business owners for goods and services like barter currency. Texit Coin is also easily exported around the world, used in foreign markets for saving, trading, and speculating. But Texit Coin will always be mined here, at home in Texas, by individuals like you. Securing the future is as simple as keeping our money honest, safe, and away from centralization. Together, we are building the world's largest decentralized crypto mine in Texas. For Texas, by Texans. Welcome back into the Moncrief Club for your Frogs Today football pregame show. I'm your host, Jules Conti, joined again by Faith Lester. We're now going to take you guys through some offensive expectations for our Horned Frogs going into their home opener game against Abilene Christian tonight with a kickoff of 7 p.m. So where does this offense all start? Quarterback Josh Hoover. If they were not talking about Josh before the UNC game, they definitely are now.
I mean, yeah, he had 27 out of 36 passes completed, and he threw for almost 300 yards, 284 to be exact. There's 41 uninterrupted points in this game. That's insane.
Josh, last season for the Frogs in 2024, he beat the single season passing record for TCU. It seems to be something that just kind of swept over everybody else's head. That was nearly 4,000 yards. The exact number was 3,949. But what's even more impressive are the people that he passed to be able to set that milestone.
I mean, Trayvon Boykin in 2014 set this with 3,901 yards. But the people before him, I mean,
we look at Andy Dalton, who is a quarterback here at TCU. He is currently still playing in the NFL, his most recent team being the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, we have Kenny Hill, 2016 to 2017 legend. And we also have Max Duggan, 2022. He brought TCU to the national championship, Heisman finalist, and
he played for the NFL for a little bit as well. He is now playing in the minor leagues of football as well, but he's still a standout player for these Horned Frogs, someone that the team still talks about. So the fact that Josh was not on the national broadcast for UNC, the whole game is about Bill Belichick, but our Horned Frogs came and they showed out. But this game against UNC, Josh couldn't do it alone. Let's talk about our run game. In total, TCU had 258 rushing yards. And when Josh was asked about it later in the presser, he had no idea. Let's go take a look at that.
How much easier is it?
What?
How much easier does that make your job?
I mean, I didn't know that. That's awesome, especially, we had some struggles last year, not struggles, but inconsistencies running the ball last year. So to come out tonight and do what we did on the ground is encouraging. I'm proud of our offensive line, proud of our running backs, the way they ran the ball. We've got some really, really good running backs. I mean, we've got 5-6 guys you could roll out there at any time and feel good about. So love that running back room. And then receivers did a great job blocking today. Eric had a great block on a long touchdown run. So just guys playing good without the ball, and then offensive line just being on the same page, and coaches just calling good plays, just good team effort.
One more offensive player that we cannot fail to mention before we go into tonight's big matchup is Cade Bennett.
O-lineman, new to TCU as well. Didn't play last year off an injury, but he said in a presser, we cannot underestimate them. FCS teams have nothing to lose, so they're coming with their head on fire, which I totally agree with. The O-line said they want to be more physical with their hands and have better pass protection, so we hope to see that tonight under the lights in the Carter.
We spoke to Cade in the press conference as well. So let's go over there and take a look at what he had to say about this TCU offensive line.
Yeah, we did some good things in the run game. I think we got a lot of movement. We also we have to work on our sets, just different knowing guys' alignment, setting different ways. Me personally, I know I have to work on that, just being more physical with our hands and pass protection as well. So, O-line is a constant loop. We're always working on something. There's always a new problem you can face. And yeah, this week is completely different as well with stunts and everything.
No matter who these Horned Frogs are facing off against, it is important to go in it just as hot, just as strong, just as prepared as they do every week. And you can see that these Horned Frogs are preparing to do nothing but that. And hey, Abilene Christian brought Texas Tech to overtime in Lubbock last year when they played. So this is going to be no easy feat for our Frog fans. But But speaking of this family atmosphere that we keep talking about, Mallory James Mahoney is out at the tailgates talking to some of our Frog parents as they get ready for their home opener and parents weekend they're spending with their students. So let's go hear from her.
Hey there, Frog fans. Now, it is a very special Saturday here at TCU. Not only is it our first home game, but it is also Parents Weekend, and as you can tell behind me, we have a bit of a packed crowd here today. Everyone is here with their families and ready to cheer on TCU, so let's go check it out. Now, like any TCU football game, we of course have some delicious food and live music playing, so it is such a great experience. But since it is the first home game and Parents Weekend, we also have a bunch of extras, like a whole bunch of vendors who are giving away like free hats and like customized hat, Kendra Scott jewelry, so many cool things to get involved in. And I can tell that all the parents and all of the students here are very much loving it. I am here out in the tailgates with a couple of Frog fans, and I feel like I might know the answer to this question, but let's start with, who is your favorite Horned Frog?
Carson Bruno. Carson Bruno.
Now let's tell the fans at home why this reason is.
He's my brother.
It is so awesome to meet you guys. Are you so excited for game day today?
Yes, of course.
Let's go Frogs. I have to ask, do we think the Frogs are going to win?
Oh,
of
yes,
course.
of course.
Go Frogs.
Go Frogs. Go Frogs.
I'm here with Alan, and I mean, I always see you guys. You've got a grill set up. What is on the grill today for the first home game?
For the first home game, we're doing poppers and kebabs and chicken and hot dogs, brats, hamburgers.
You've got everything, all of the classics. I love it. That's a perfect choice.
Yeah, yes. So it keeps us busy.
Well, thank you very much, Alan, and I hope you enjoy this game day. I mean, I always see your tailgate. It's set up amazing. You guys have got just a perfect day. It looks like...
Yeah. It's hot out here, though.
Yes, it is. Well, stay cool and have fun today.
All right, go Frogs.
Go Frogs. Hey, how about in a battle of the mascots? Who do we think is winning today? Super Frog or Willie the Wildcat who plays for the other team?
Super Frog.
Super Frog?
Super Frog.
Yeah, let's go Super Frog. And last but not least, can I get a Go Frogs with you guys?
Yeah.
Go Frogs! Woo! Thanks, girls. Hello again, Frog fans. Now, I am here with Jeannie, and she is actually a TCU alum parent who came back for this game. So, Jeannie, how does it feel to be back?
It feels great. It's so much fun. It's just so much history here at the school, and we are going to rock it. Go Frogs.
Yes, we are. Go Frogs. I am here with a couple of our other Horned Frog family members, and they actually have friends who are freshman daughter here at TCU. And how are we excited for game day, guys?
So excited.
Let's go, Frogs!
Waiting for forever. Our purple's been ready.
Yes, the purple has been ready. The game day outfits are a big thing here. I'm seeing the boots. I love them. We've all got the boots and the bows. It is perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. And can we get a Go Frogs?
Yes.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Go Frogs! Now, I am here with Melanie, and we were just talking about some of the merch that you can get here at TCU. We have some of the cutest outfits, arguably. I mean, I know I'm biased, but we were talking about going to the Flash store. It's so great.
It is really great. You're able to get a variety of like designs, anything like that has to do cuteness and like girly, and you're able to see more over there.
Yes, absolutely. And I feel like Parents Weekend right now, everyone's hitting it up there because they're like, oh, we need mom shirts, dad shirts, sibling shirts, everything.
Anything at all, even flags too, and sweatshirts, and umbrellas, and many more.
It's amazing. I love all the merch options we have at TCU because we got to rep the Frogs.
Of course, go Frogs.
Go Frogs. I am out in the tailgates with Amy, Zoe, and Ellie. Okay, girls, first of all, who's our favorite Horned Frog player?
Josh Hoover.
Josh Hoover.
Yeah, Josh Hoover.
Quarterback, great choice. I love it. He's been doing great for us. Now, who do we think is going to win today?
TCU.
TCU, of course. Okay, like we said, it is family weekend here at TCU, and we have a couple family members of one of our very own Horned Frogs. So how's it feel being out here today, guys?
It feels really good.
It's very exciting.
Very fun. Now, are we excited for the game?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Horned Frog fans for a long time, or only since your sister started going here?
For a long time.
For a long time.
Awesome. Well, let's go Frogs, and I hope it's a great game today.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I have talked to some great fans here today, and as we can tell, everyone is so pumped for this game. first home game and Parents Weekend. So much happening today, and I just have a feeling it's going to be an amazing game. So let's go check it out.
Thanks, Mallory. A buzzing atmosphere outside for Family Weekend here in Fort Worth. But now let's take a look at the defense of our TCU Horned Frogs. 2 weekends ago against UNC, our TCU Horned Frog defense scored just as many touchdowns as UNC's offense. And that started with 2 players, Bud Clark's pick 6 and Devin Deal's fumble recovery for a touchdown. Let's look at Bud.
Yeah, I mean, that's just crazy to hear, especially with all the hype around the game. It just makes me as a Frog fan that much more excited. But yeah, Bud Clark, he leads this defense. He had a 25-yard pick 6 last weekend, as you said, and he won Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week. This is his 5th year at TCU. He has not left, and I think that's really a big deal in college football today because you don't see that anymore at all. So
speaking of loyal to the purple, that is the definition of Bud Clark. But do you want to know what else he said? Last weekend after this win, he came into the press conference and he didn't want to take full accountability for how the defense played, even though he did lead the team. He said, I owe all my guys a steak dinner to thank them for the way that they played. We're hoping to speak to Bud after the game today to see if he really kept that promise. But let's jump into the press conference and hear what he had to say about his defensive work.
Them boys, I owe all them steak dinner for sure. I told him that we hold them under like 100 yards, I give them a steak dinner, so I for sure do. But I feel like we've grown in a great way. We put different pieces like Ansel, Zach, Paul, so we got all them boys together, and I feel like they're on one page. Everybody's trying to go to the Natty, go to the Big 12, do everything we need to do.
And you heard Bud say it, the Horned Frogs held UNC to only 50 rushing yards.
Yeah, Sonny in the State of the Frogs coaches show at Frogs Today said going into UNC, he wanted to do 2 things. One of those being win the turnover battle. And they did just that, 3-1 with 2 defensive touchdowns.
And let's take a look at that other defensive touchdown we were talking about. Devin Deal with the fumble recovery for 37 yards to score a touchdown. He had a special moment in the press conference afterwards talking about what the touchdown really meant to him. So let's go check that out.
I've been telling everybody, so me and my brother's Nana passed away earlier, and that was her. Like, I ain't really do nothing but scoop the ball. She gave me the opportunity, took it. So that's my Nana. My Nana blessed me with that.
What a special moment, not just for Devin, but his brother Marcus, who is also on the TCU Horned Frog team. Well, Devin was a star player for TCU last year as well, averaging 9.5 tackles and 5.5 sacks. So we're excited to see what he's going to do out there on the field tonight. But one more defensive Horned Frog player we want to mention is Channing Canada.
Yes, this is his 3rd year at TCU, and he finally earned his starting position after fall camp. He said it means a lot to him, especially because this is the year of a lot of depth in the cornerback section. I mean, he said everybody's healthy, so it just means a lot, and he's been working really hard to get that starting position. He talks about his UNC performance in the press conference, so we'll send you there now.
But as the vets, we gathered up, and even at the end of the game, we didn't like how we finished. I kind of think that we let out the gas a little bit, and that's one thing. Looking forward, like you said, going into this with this bye week, going into next week, we know what we can do and how great we can be, but we just got to take it one day at a time.
Well, that's all we have today for our offensive and defensive expectations, but we're excited to see what the Horned Frogs do tonight in the Carter for their home opener. Let's send it back over to Mallory James Mahoney, who has today's betting line.
If you're thinking about betting on this game, TCU is the significant favorite. The money line is not even available at most sports books due to the lopsided matchup. The spread has TCU winning by 35.5, and the over-under is 56.5. Now, for those of you out there who aren't betting fans, that means that TCU is picked to win the game by 37.5 points, and the guys in Vegas have the total amount of points scored by both teams combined is 56.5. The Frogs scored 48 last week to a pretty reputable UNC team, so this could be a pretty high-scoring affair. But it just depends on how long Hoover and the starters stay in the game. Not to get overconfident here, but ESPN is giving TCU a 98% chance of winning, and as far as upsets, that's only in the back of one's mind because of the Wildcats who took over Texas Tech in overtime last year in Lubbock. Of course, you could have a little fun with the prop bets on who's going to score first, who will win the coin toss, who will be the open score. Will the open score be a run or a pass? Who will it be? What will the score be at halftime? And total yards. There is a very long list of categories you can bet on. But mostly, all that we care about have TCU on this one, 45-10. And the only reason I think they may not cover the spread, and I picked the under, is, like I said, Sonny Dykes and crew might dig up into the bench a little sooner than expected. But this will be a big one for the Frogs. Abilene Christian struggled against Tulsa and SFA, and our Frogs have a ton of offensive firepower. And like you guys said, they held the Tar Heels to 50 yards on the ground and scored twice on defense. So that means it could be a long night for the Wildcats. Back to you, girls.
Welcome back into the Moncrief Club for your Frogs Today pregame show. I'm your host, Jules Conti, alongside Faith Lester. Let's take a quick look at ACU. They are now ranked 13 in the FCS poll, coming off a big win for their program against their rival, Stephen F. Austin. Let's hear what head coach Sonny Dykes has to say about tonight's opponent.
Football team, I mean, a team that took Texas Tech to overtime last year and went for two to try to beat them in Lubbock. Won a playoff game last year in the FCS playoffs, ranked 13th in the country this week in the FCS poll. Really good team, well coached. Keith Patterson, their head coach, is a really highly regarded, highly respected defensive coach and has been around. Does a tremendous job at creating pressure and uncertainty for the offense. And Graham Harrell's the offensive coordinator. Graham's been a bunch of really, really good places, had a ton of success everywhere he's been. And so they'll be well coached. They've got a lot of good players. When you turn the tape on, you can see the players, tons of speed at wide receiver, veteran quarterback that's really a good player, can make plays.
Fort Worth guy.
Yeah, Fort Worth guy, that's right. And can make plays with his feet and throwing the football. An offensive line that's real athletic. And then you look at their defense, and they're all over the place. I mean, they're going to chop the front up. They're going to pressure you. They're going to overload you. They really do a good job of creating negative plays and getting you into third and long situations and then overwhelming you with blitzes. And so our players are going to see that they've got a good team. Really had a good win last week against Stephen F. Austin. And so I think the team improved tremendously from week 1 to week 2. And going into the third game, they'll be ready to play.
A win today would signify Sonny Dykes' 100th career win as a head coach. What an exciting game for all Frog fans, but especially Sonny Dykes and his Horned Frogs. We're so excited for this game today.
This has been your Frogs Today football pregame show, live from the Moncrief Club right here at the Amon G. Carter Stadium. Thank you to our new sponsor, Texit Coin. I'm your host, Jules Conti. Thank you to everyone who joined me on set today. Faith Lester, Athletic Director, Mike Buddie, as well as Mallory James Mahoney. It is a 7 p.m. kickoff here in the Carter for a home opener game and family weekend. Sell-out crowd. It's going to be a big one, but stay tuned because after the show, we'll be back here for your Frogs Today post-game show with head coach Sonny Dykes, quarterback Josh Huber, as well as a few other of our star players that'll be right here on frogstoday.com. Make sure to follow the rest of our social media platforms as well, which are Frogs Today. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're excited for the Frogs. Let's go Horned Frogs.